everybody, flight sim fans and all that good stuff. This is your captain speaking, Captain Brooks, right here on Flight Sim My Way. And I'd like to welcome you to beautiful Wilmington, Delaware International, where I am trying to fly for the first time. Well, actually not the first time, but anyway, we're going to fly my brand new 737-700 to Atlanta, Georgia. And here's my sim brief layout. There we go. And we're going to try and fly this thing. And there's my altitude. And I am doing a dub over or overdub or something because, yeah, my voice didn't come out right the first time. So, if things don't look exactly right or go like they should, then that's just because it's Flight Sim My Way, and this is how we do it. Well, let's get in the old cockpit and try and get this bad bird going. So, here we go. Get the battery, crank it on. And we'll get the emergency light switched on. And we'll go over here to the APU and get the APU running. And while we're waiting on the APU, I guess I'm going to flick on a couple of lights here. And yeah, go from there. I'm waiting on this thing right here. There's my gauge for my APU to tell me whether or not it's going. Let me flip on the old nav buttons there to get the FMC and the navigation stuff rolling. Put the no smoking on and the seat belts on. Lights. Lock your seat belt in. And we'll put on some juice there and get the pack or whatever that's called. Get some air flowing so that we can crank stuff up. I'm waiting on the blue light here in the middle, right there, and once that comes on I will flick that button down and that button down, and here we got power. So we'll cut that off there and yeah, get things going. Yeah, looks like everything's... Hey, look at that. Huh. Armrest down, up and down, up and down. Ain't that cool? Tell you what, it looks really nice in here. This is, you know, similar to the P3D that I fly and the FSX and all that. But the things look a little softer. But it's pretty much the same airplane as far as I can tell. But it's just the graphics to me, for my system, for what I do. It just feels just really, really nice. And so let's get down here and check out, get ourselves, enter our IRS position. Clear that out. Go to the next page. Pick the GPS. Go back and stick it right in there. Stick it in there. There we go. And we'll go to the route, and we are at KLIM, so let's put that in, and then we will put in KATL for Atlanta, and then I think what I'm going to do is request. There we go. So I have the flight plan already selected in the FMC, and so we're going to wait for that to get ready to load as we look around at some of the really cool stuff. Let's go over here, and okay, well, looks like I'm ready to uplink. Okay, so let's load the uplink and get that loaded into the system. And the uplink is loading, so we'll get that going. And we are going to be Delta, what? Let's see, Delta 130-399. There you go. That's what we are. And this is actually a real flight that I got off of FlightAware, or No, not FlightAware. What am I talking about? I got it off of, yeah, FlightAware. Good morning. Alright, well, let's check this thing out then. We'll go ahead and get our stuff. Let's see what we got here. I forget what I was doing now. Let's see. Alright. So we are going, our start is, so that's our departure, and then there is our arrival. So we're going direct to KATT. And so our arrival, so let's go down here. First off, we'll go ahead and execute it and get it going. We'll go to departure, and we're going to be taking off on runway 6. And then we're going to come over here and go to, down to, I forgot what it was now, but I'll remember here because of the, here it is, Jedi 2, I think it's 27. Yeah, we're taking off on runway 27 left, I believe. Yeah, there's my transition. 27 right. And we'll come back to this in just a minute because I think UU is what I normally do, but anyway, so as we move right along, let's open up my Navigraph charts, which I have here, added to the Microsoft 2020, which is, I mean, I'm just loving this thing. I am so glad that PMDG finally got this thing set up, because this is the plane I fly almost all the time, unless I'm flying a general aviation airplane, and I'm just so used to flying this thing. Now I'm in Delta Virtual Airlines, and so I like to fly, you know, get some points, you know, get some brownie points with the guys and all that good stuff. So here's the plaque of the airport, and I'm trying to figure out where I am so I know where to taxi to when taxi time comes. Yeah, we'll come back to that, I think. So let's see here. Is the everything ready for what I gotta do? I'm not sure. Let's see what I gotta do here. Let's see. Let's go back to my legs page, and if I look here, yeah, that's the runway heading, 276. That's where you can get your runway heading from. So we can get that up in here. If I can find out where the heck I'm going to. Come on now, figure it out. There you go. I programmed all these buttons and stuff, so we got to figure out what's what. We'll get my heading dialed in here. Let's see if we can double check everything. Let's get our zero fuel weight and all that stuff put in, my reserves and cost index and stuff, and get that loaded up. See what happens. So if you, yeah, well, let me request it. See if they'll send me what I need. Yep, it's loaded. There it is. Okay. There's my fuel unable. Well, we'll fix that later. I'm not worried about that. And cost index 18. When I was doing something else, 80 was a good one. 36,000 feet. Yep, that's good. That's what we were going to do. And let me get the winds and wind direction. Let me get the wind speed and wind direction here and get that loaded in. That's 221 degrees and what is that? 12 knots. So we'll put that in. Okay, there it is. I'll show you where it's at. on my, well, there it is. It's right there. Trust me. There it is. Right there. On my sim brief chart. Love sim brief. Good stuff. Good stuff. Alrighty then. So now we'll go to my N1 limits. And this here is where I was looking on the tutorial that comes with it, and they were saying to yeah, put in the 40 degrees because of the, I don't know, limitations or something. And so I did that, and then we put flaps 5, which I always do. Press that, and that'll give you your V speeds and also your trim amount. Now I noticed that this one here, when I put the arrow on top, I'm not getting any telling me what it is or anything, which is fine. So as long as you get it halfway close, shouldn't be any problems. So we'll get it down. I can't read what it says because I'm way up here. But anyway, we'll get it close. I have a switch on my SciTech yoke, which I've logged in, or whatever you call it, matched up to with my FUICP, FUIPC, FUCK, give her my best. Anyway, one of those things. So we get it halfway decent there. Alright, and so I guess we're looking pretty good for right now. Let's see what happens here. I think I might be getting ready to get a pushback, or at least, you know, maybe get my dial set up, RTO, and come back down here. What do we got? Oh, looks good. Let's look at the legs, see what we got on the legs. I'm lost. What am I doing? Oh, I haven't put my fuel in yet. You know what? Let me do that. Okay, let's put my fuel in. And according to SimBrief, my fuel should be around 13,504. And yeah, I'll have to check my V speeds again. That's fine. There's where it says you got a message. Let me clear that out. Okay. Then we'll go back here and do the payload. And the payload is basically, I do the zero fuel weight at 117.9, or I can do a percentage. And I did the percentage there. Come back to the menu. Right. And check my doors. Okay, my front door is open because I have the stairs out front. Make sure that's closed. Go to the second page and make sure all the doors are closed. I remember when I first flew in the, you know, we're getting ready to move, so let's get rid of all that stuff. When I first flew, the cargo doors were open, and I didn't know it, and I'm flying and got up in the air, and all these buzzers were going off, and I'm going, what in the world? Well, anyway, so let's see if we can't get ready. Let's double check what we're doing here and make sure that everything is according to plan. Okay, well, you see the V speeds did change, so we got them figured out, so we'll have to rearrange that a little bit. Okay, now let's hit the old flight director switches. Should okay, let's get the altitude. I had a little glitch there because one of my hotkeys, I couldn't tell if I was pushing pause or I was play. Anyway, let's get all that done. Now we'll put the flight director on, and RTO, and I guess I'm going to push the B button for the go through, check my dials, got the yaw damper. Okay, let's get ready to crank this thing up. Everything's looking good. Okay, this is what I do. I don't know if this is right, wrong, or indifferent. This is just how I do it. Some do different. I wait on that, but I have seen it done differently. Okay, we've got to turn. Well, didn't have the packs on in the first place, so let's get that on and build up a little pressure while we're waiting. Let's run this thing on up to about 36,000. Check my map, get my arrival airport. No, that's not what I want. I'm going to go to the arrival airport. Why did I do that? I'm not. Was that? No, that wasn't. Was that right? Well, anyway, you're supposed to put the arrival airport landing height or runway height. Okay. So let's go over here and let's push that there, and we'll get ready for pushback. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do because I'm not familiar with that pushback. So we're going to do something. So what I'm going to use is the pushback helper mod that I got, and that seems to work fairly well for me. We gotta get the engine spooling up and wait for it to hit 24 point whatever percent, and make sure the brakes are on. Yeah, there you go. And turn that bad boy up. Flick the fuel into her. Sounds pretty cool. Definitely got a good sound to it. And I don't know, we'll just click this on over to standby. Alright, now let's start engine number 1. There's engine number 2 that started. And we'll wait for it to get up. They're all ready to roll here. That's good. Alright, put her on continuous. We're getting ready to take off. Get our taxi lights on. Turn the generators on. And get our hydraulics running. Get our packs on auto. And we don't need the APU anymore, so get the lights, get the lights on steady. And all that's good. All that looks good. All that looks good. Put the seat belts on auto. Everything looks as good as I know. I don't know. I don't know what all them lights are up there. And we'll look down here. Check stuff. And that's just moving the systems page. Okay. LNAV. Yeah, that didn't come on. I'm not sure. I must have done something different, or I think, but it'll come on later. I'm pretty sure. So let's taxi on out to the runway, and yeah, we'll see you at the other end. Whoops, I forgot. I gotta do my flaps. I'm gonna do my flaps. There's my flaps. Do my flaps. Yeah. Okay. Now let's cruise on out to the end of the runway, and yeah. We'll be back in just a second. And with the magic of video, here we are, runway 6, getting ready for takeoff. Brake on, let's set a few more dials. Heading lights on, got our anti-collision lights on, all that looks good. Now we don't need the APU right now, so we'll turn that on. And make sure all this is good, all that's good, all that's good. I checked the pressures and all that on the way down the runway. All that looks fine. Okay, well, I am a happy camper. So let's just go ahead and get on the runway today. As I stomp on the brake pedal, that'll let the what did I forget? Oh, you know what I forgot? Yep. I forgot. I don't need to bypass that vector because I'm not running with ATC. So, yeah, I need to fix that. But we'll do that while we're up in the air. We'll get that figured out. Okay, line her up. Right there is the hidden button for toga switch.
V1, rotate. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. And let me go ahead and hit the autopilot so I can relax and look around and do what I gotta do. Hit a few buttons. I need the video anymore. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to zip on through all this because, quite honestly, the takeoff is cool, and we got that going. I didn't do any outside shots of that, but maybe we'll do some outside shots here in a minute, and with the magic of video, we'll be landing shortly. Excuse me. So, yeah, we'll see you back in one split second here while we go cruising. But nice looking thing, very nice, pretty. So we'll come back in a split and we'll be landing. So hang in there. So here we are back in the old cockpit, heading to we're going to make our landing here very shortly. This video is getting very long, and I decided to shorten it. But anyway, so yeah, here we are. We're going to go in for a landing, and I'm going to be just pushing buttons and cussing in the background because there was a plane on the runway when we get there, but we won't talk about that. But I have now hit the approach, and it should be locked in on the glide slope pretty soon here. We'll be locked in. Put down already. And I'm going to put down the landing gear, what I just did. And we've got about 5 knots of slack. There we go. I'm hitting the altitude for catch the glide slope. And yeah, let's just glide this thing to the ground. Now, one thing I did do was I got slow really early, and I probably shouldn't have done that. So it kind of wiggle wobbled a little bit. But you know, I mean, it's flight sim my way, and so the only thing I can kill up here is some wattage. But we're coming in to land, so we'll be on the ground here in just a short.
Radio altimeter.
So I got my speed dialed down to 131, but I think that's a little too low. We hit the outer marker here. You can see the plane kind of wobbling back and forth. I just slowed down way too soon. I could have waited a little while. And, if I'm not mistaken, I had my, what's that, air brakes? Can't think of the name right this second. But, yeah, I had my air brakes on. Well, wait a minute. I was supposed to set them, but not put them on. And that was messing me up too, because airflow across the wings. See how my flaps are sitting up there on top of the wings there, you see them? They're not supposed to be up yet. And that's kind of messed me up too. But hey, look, I'm having fun. This flight's in my way. This is how I do it. And make mistakes just like anybody else. Look in the front here. I mean, you know, it was like, wow, I'm surprised I didn't crash. But hopefully I'll...
Traffic.
Yeah, look at that. My speed brakes, that's it. There, I gotta move them. Come on. There, push that little button right there, get it down there. But I gotta set them. There you go. Now, a little bit smoother. And there's a big old jet. Don't pull out on me. Don't pull out on me. But, you know what? He didn't listen. Apparently, ATC didn't realize I was coming in because I wasn't using ATC. So they didn't tell that big old plane not to come on the runway. And naturally, he sees me coming, and here I am. So, we don't have to worry about crashing because I cut that off.
Sink rate.
Yeah,
Sink rate.
a little too
Glide
hard.
slope.
That's all.
Glide
Get out
slope.
Of my way.
10.
Oh, but hey, I'm on the ground. Check that I got reverse thrust on. I hit the brakes a little early, but such is life. Turn off all these things making a bunch of noise and head on over here to get off the runway. It's like too sharp of a turn. Let's go down to the next one. We'll go ahead and park this thing. And then shut her down. Yeah, let's pull on into this parking spot right here. Just pick one, who cares? And so yeah, I mean that's about it. It's not a fantastic know-it-all video, but yeah, I definitely appreciate y'all flying along with me on my first video of the PMDG 737-700 and their new Microsoft 2020 version. Apparently I flew this thing with no issues other than my own lack of knowledge, but we got her done. We're on the ground, so I'm just going to shut her down here. And yeah, thank you for being along for the ride, and subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Make me look good here on the on the internet. Alright, appreciate it. Oh, by the way, it does have a full and complete checklist attached to the thing, so you can go through that, which I may do one of these days. Okay? Alright. Well, thank you. Have a good one. Take care.